Brutal capitalism has distorted reality to a point where cutting through the noise in crypto is now more difficult than ever before. Preying on the tendency to consume only surface-level information, a well-orchestrated, continuous spread of misinformation has enabled actors surrounding the Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana ecosystems to define Cardano to those who have never spent any time or effort to really understand what's actually being built here. Cardano is the crypto that actually listened to the early innovators in the Bitcoin space and has methodically set about finishing the work Satoshi started. This video explores the key advantages, features and facts that makes Cardano a killer blockchain. Welcome back to Sapien, the channel for in-depth coverage and breakdowns of the most disruptive technology that's challenging the economic, political and social systems of the world. Before we dive in, this video is brought to you in partnership with the Cardano fan stake pool. This collaboration will spearhead a stream of Sapien content to further the reach of Cardano and its impressive technology. So if you find value in the videos, please consider delegating to the Cardano stake pool ticker, CRFA. Full details can be found in the description. Cardano's purpose as a technology is to challenge and improve the economic, political and social systems of the world for everyone. The complexity associated with realizing this vision has a lot to do with why Bitcoin stopped evolving, and the majority of other blockchains in this space chose a completely different path to design and development. Cardano is a conscious decision that came after such innovations as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Learning from both the successes and limitations of its predecessors is a powerful advantage and something that shouldn't be overlooked. This, coupled with a methodical, research-driven approach to development, has led to the construction of an extremely robust, innovative and future-proof blockchain system. While it's true Cardano makes a trade-off that is a little harder to build on for developers when compared to account-based chains like Ethereum, an intended consequence of this is that it's far more user-friendly, significantly more secure and more egalitarian, meaning it gives equal chances to everyone, not just the wealthy. Many mistaken Cardano as an Ethereum clone, however the reality is Cardano is as far away from this as technologically possible. This is why it helps to understand the following advantages, as you will find there are far more similarities to Bitcoin than that of Ethereum. But most importantly, they demonstrate that Cardano has forged its own identity, delivered many technological innovations, and has a vision that's entirely unique in the blockchain space. Today, Cardano very much resembles a blockchain building in the image of what crypto originally promised to be. What we have on our hands is the makings of a world operating system, a decentralized digital-first society, and the foundation for a network state. For a deeper dive on these topics, check out my Cardano for Bitcoiners series and video on the network state, where I explore this in more detail. Now to the academic research-driven approach to blockchain development. Many confuse Cardano as the blockchain for academics rather than a blockchain built by academics for the masses. We turn to academia for advancing all major industries. We value this approach for our health, medicine, aviation, and national security, to name but a few. So why not for our blockchain systems? Cardano's decision to embrace the academic peer-reviewed approach to guide the development of its blockchain architecture is a fundamental characteristic that separates it from the industry at large. You don't take the resource and time-intensive academic peer-reviewed approach for fast delivery and financial return. You take this route to develop a best-in-class system with the user experience central to everything. While all blockchain projects can make wild, unsubstantiated claims about the technology and innovation, it's Cardano that can prove that the claims made about its technology are in fact based in reality, deep-rooted and backed up by science through the use of formal methods and peer review. While the wider industry has largely demonstrated a lack of appreciation towards this approach, the basic style of development seen in ecosystems like Ethereum and Solana are not viable to execute the scope of its vision. It's important to make this distinction when evaluating blockchain networks and their technology. It's this kind of substance that presents a key differentiator. It's because of academia that Cardano has the best user experience in terms of security, scalability, ultra-inclusivity, and decentralization. Turning to science to produce a system capable of scaling to the millions or billions seems natural and is being evidenced in real time through the technology itself. For example, the ledger is the cornerstone of any blockchain system, serving as the authoritative record of all activity on the network. Its security is vital because it underpins the integrity, trust, and functionality of the blockchain ecosystem. Without a secure ledger, the entire value proposition of blockchain would be compromised, making the system unreliable and extremely vulnerable to attacks. Cardano's use of formal verification to produce high assurance code, particularly through the choice to use Haskell, a functional programming language, sets it apart from the rest of the industry by ensuring unparalleled security and reliability of its ledger. Just as mission-critical industries like aviation, cybersecurity, and military defense rely on formal methods to guarantee the safety and precision of their systems, Cardano employs these rigorous techniques to minimize bugs and vulnerabilities in its codebase. This approach ensures that the ledger, the foundational record of all network activity, is provably secure, and no other blockchain in the industry can boast this mass adoption defining feature. In a similar respect, Cardano's proof-of-stake consensus protocol, Ouroboros, was designed together with a formal proof that it realizes the functionality of a robust distributed transaction ledger. This proof involves properties that are assured with Bitcoin proof-of-work analysis. These are the properties that previous work has outlined and identified as the important building blocks for arguing security of blockchain protocols. This fact is why Ouroboros is commonly referred to as a provably secure proof-of-stake protocol, as this claim is backed up by and rooted in science. One of the most underrated innovations is how, through formal methods and scientific peer review, Cardano was able to figure out how to get Nakamoto consensus to work properly in a proof-of-stake system while having the exact same security properties of proof-of-work, but excel in harnessing all the benefits of proof-of-stake. Just like Bitcoin, Cardano has a 51% honest majority consensus. This, contrasted with many other chains which have 1/3 honest majority like Solana and Avalanche, makes the security of user funds on Cardano far superior. Thanks to Ouroboros and Cardano's widely distributed network of stake pool operators validating the blockchain, its minimum attack vector is high, making it extremely difficult to attack the chain. Cardano's MAV represents the number of independent entities or stake pools that would need to be compromised or collude to gain control of more than 50% of the stake in the network. The data from on-chain analytics tools suggests a current MAV in the region of 35, which in comparison to the rest of the industry is extremely impressive. Intriguingly, data from the Edinburgh Decentralization Index, which is a quantitative framework for evaluating and comparing the decentralization of different blockchain networks that's been developed at the University of Edinburgh, places Cardano in the respect to its MAV even higher at 55. Feel free to check out the data from this index linked in the description, where you can compare this with other chains like Bitcoin and Ethereum. With security in mind, Cardano is built with an extremely resilient architecture with respect to DDoS attacks. Under heavy DDoS, for example, the chain is still able to remain operational, while it was slow, it's still able to process user transactions. So when it comes to bulk handling, Cardano is a reactive system and it has been specifically programmed this way. Under heavy load, a reactive system can fail gracefully rather than grinding to a complete halt. Typically, a sustained DDoS would overload the chain, but not on Cardano. Recently, this was demonstrated in real time, whereby a malicious actor attempted to DDoS the blockchain. The chain's resilience was tested and proven. It was able not only to sustain the attack, but an ecosystem development team in Anastasia Labs actually turned the tables on the attacker, detected the attack, and confiscated data from them. Upon realizing their funds were being siphoned in response to their actions, as revealed in a post on X, the attacker ceased the DDoS attack. I've linked an article in the description that explains the events in more detail. A true testament to the security and decentralization of the Cardano blockchain is the impressive fact that it is proven to operate without fail 24/7. Cardano's live network has operated for 7 years with 100% uptime without the chain going down or being hacked on a single occasion. This is the type of reliability and resilience that you should expect from a decentralized blockchain system that's aiming to adopt the masses. Cardano's implementation of proof-of-stake is another very deliberate component of its blockchain architecture. Its groundbreaking proof-of-stake consensus protocol, Ouroboros, was the first of its kind to be developed through academic peer review. The motivation behind Ouroboros was to develop a proof-of-stake protocol that could realize the same level of security guarantees as observed in a proof-of-work system like Bitcoin, while benefiting from the clear energy efficiencies, composability, and scalability features that are realized in proof-of-stake. This is an innovation that was once thought impossible. In Ouroboros, this has been achieved and is the industry's first, if not only, provably secure proof-of-stake protocol. For a deep dive on how Cardano achieves Bitcoin-level security in proof-of-stake, check out my video on Ouroboros Genesis, linked in the description below. Another killer feature of Cardano's proof-of-stake system that's often overlooked is the network of highly engaged public SPOs that have emerged. Unlike Bitcoin's more expensive, energy-intensive, and increasingly centralized proof-of-work model, the amount of computing hardware and energy required to verify blocks and transactions is significantly reduced in Cardano's proof-of-stake. As a result, the barrier to entry is low, meaning anyone can become a stake pool operator, market their pools, and contribute to the decentralization of the chain. Currently, Cardano has over 3,000 stake pool operators in the network. In almost a hybrid model where physical and synthetic resources are utilized, this adds significant value to the chain. In order to secure delegation, Cardano SPOs must work hard to market and maintain their operations. This has led to a network of personas that publicly support and represent Cardano, contributing greatly to user confidence and adoption of the blockchain. In addition to validation and consensus for critical upgrades, stake pool operators are also in many cases key contributors to community discussion, awareness initiatives, and delivery of education surrounding the blockchain. If you want to explore this further and understand how this compares to Bitcoin's proof-of-work model, check out part 2 of my Bitcoiner series linked below. A hallmark of Cardano's innovative Ouroboros protocol is its introduction of true non-custodial liquid staking, and it's in its purest form. The blockchain industry has many types of staking solutions for proof-of-stake protocols, but nothing contends with Cardano's impressive architecture in this respect. First and foremost, there is little technical knowledge required to stake your ADA. In fact, in just a few simple clicks, a user can stake their balance to the pool of their choice, earning rewards from the comfort of their wallet while retaining full self-custody. Unlike other proof-of-stake blockchains like Ethereum, where you need at least 32 ETH to stake in a non-custodial environment or else lock your stake with a centralized entity, on Cardano, a user can stake from just one ADA, delivering an extremely low barrier to entry for ultra-inclusivity. You have the option to delegate to a preferred pool of your choice, run your own node or stake pool operation, or even stake privately. Most importantly, staking on Cardano is the purest form of non-custodial native liquid staking. There are no lockups, penalties, or third-party custodians interfering with this process. What's more is, while staking on Cardano, users' funds remain in their wallet and accessible at all times with no fears of slashing due to operator or user misconfiguration, something that happens on ETH and Polkadot and many other proof-of-stake chains. Funds on Cardano are always considered secure asset funds for users. Being liquid, the user always retains control of their funds. However, while staking can at the same time take part in DeFi on Cardano for double or triple yield returns, so benefiting from DeFi and native staking at the same time. Users can freely spend their ADA while actively staking, delivering the most fluid and flexible staking experience industry-wide. It's important to note that Cardano's hybrid model also enables both private and public staking. Data shows, as a result, Cardano is far more decentralized than Ethereum in this respect, not only through delegation, but the ability to run software and delegate privately. Staking on Cardano is too often confused with other blockchain staking solutions, which are largely centralized and pose significant risk to user funds. Cardano's non-custodial liquid staking is the industry gold standard, extremely underrated and overlooked by the majority of the crypto space. The innovation of Cardano native assets represents another significant advantage in terms of the security and utility of the blockchain. A concept that was first explored in the Bitcoin ecosystem with color coins has been realized in the Cardano native asset standard. Besides sending, receiving, and transacting in ADA, native assets fundamentally enables Cardano users to create and interact with custom assets right out of the box, meaning they can spend and exchange these tokens directly on the blockchain without the need for smart contracts. Unlike runes or ordinals on Bitcoin that require layer 2s or assets on Ethereum that rely on smart contracts, the Cardano native asset standard is integrated directly into the blockchain protocol, meaning they benefit from the same security guarantees as ADA itself. All native assets are cheap for the ledger in terms of storage and, most importantly, actually owned by their users, so no need to check smart contracts to see if there is a clawback or backdoor function on them. This can be considered a built-in anti-CBDC feature that offers Cardano users and developers a seamless tokenization experience with native security and 100% control and ownership of funds. Smart contracts and programmability is another area where Cardano excels, due to local state, determinism, and specific Cardano architecture which enables the ability to carry out property-based testing. Smart contracts are not only provably more secure, but can even be formally verified, delivering the highest level of assurances industry-wide. Naturally, users on Cardano benefit from far higher security than that of chains like Ethereum, and to date, there has not been a single instance of a smart contract hack where user funds were lost despite its growing DeFi and smart contract ecosystem. For a deep dive on Cardano smart contracts, check out my video Formally Verified Smart Contracts, the End of Exploits and Hacks in Crypto, linked in the description. The upgradability of a blockchain is vital if its vision is to evolve through the decades and remain adaptable to the fast-changing environment in the crypto space. Another of Cardano's unique innovations is its hard fork combinator. For Cardano, the hard fork combinator makes the process of upgrading easy and has enabled it to introduce complex upgrades like non-custodial liquid staking, which was considered a dramatic change without issue. The process of making significant upgrades through initiating a hard fork for most blockchains is extremely problematic and presents significant risk to the security and functionality of the chain. The hard fork combinator enables the blockchain to seamlessly combine protocols, enabling era-to-era transition without system interruption or restart. This is a killer feature as we're talking significant upgrades that are typically extremely difficult and complex to execute. This feature allows Cardano to implement and continue its iterative approach to blockchain development, continuously integrating new technologies, capabilities, and features to the blockchain while removing risk to users and ensuring continuous uptime for an unparalleled user experience. As Cardano enters its era of governance, where the direction of the blockchain development is placed in the hands of its community, the hard fork combinator technology will enable the chain to continue to evolve in a safe and secure fashion, as proven with all of its major hard fork upgrades. Decentralized on-chain governance represents a powerful feature all blockchain systems should be striving to achieve. True governance delivers the ultimate user empowerment, placing the future and evolution of the chain firmly in the hands of the community that surrounds it. Satoshi himself envisioned a form of on-chain governance in the original Bitcoin white paper that to this day has yet to materialize. Cardano, however, with the recent success of the Chang hard fork, is currently making history in this respect as it officially introduced its era of governance. With the burning of the Genesis keys, now it's ADA holders that have the final say on treasury withdrawals, the changing of protocol parameters, implementation of improvement proposals, and ultimately the initiation of hard forks to continue the development and delivery of its roadmap, all of which now require a vote to be made on chain. Now owning ADA also means owning the right to vote and steer the blockchain's evolution. Cardano is the first blockchain to pair governance with liquid democracy, institutional support, and constitutional representation. These are vital components for successful governance, as the institutions can provide order and concise questions, while the community and delegated representatives remain firmly in control of the ultimate decision. Cardano's decentralized governance structure delivers an extremely egalitarian approach. Its minimum viable governance solution, however, is just the starting point and open for extension. It encourages wide-scale participation via a true liquid and representative democracy, opening the door for anyone to become a DREP or delegated representative, market their expertise or values, increase their voting power, and effect meaningful change for the communities they represent. This means all users now have the potential to support Cardano and drive the ecosystem forward rather than only a selected few. For a closer look, check out Cardano's Gov tool linked in the description. Each ADA holder now has the option to either become a DREP or delegate their decision-making power to a DREP of their choice, which can be changed at any time. This means ADA holders also have the choice to place confidence in more technically skilled individuals to ensure voting on more complex proposals is considered and more effective. In many respects, Cardano's governance model has great potential to achieve a form of governance that Satoshi envisioned for Bitcoin and is far more decentralized than the models blockchains like Ethereum and Bitcoin currently employ. With the introduction of governance, Cardano is now decentralized not just in terms of block production, but also in terms of its roadmap and project management. While the IOG team, or anyone else for that matter, can propose changes to the chain, their acceptance now ultimately lies with the community. Currently, there are 63 constitutional workshops that span 50 countries working through the process of electing delegates to go in December to Argentina and ratify the Cardano constitution to be approved on-chain by the Cardano community. This will cement the rules and principles that will govern and underpin its governance model. Closely intertwined with governance and a crucial aspect for the vision for Cardano to actually be realized is its treasury. For sustainability, the Cardano treasury system is a community-controlled and decentralized collaborative decision-making mechanism to facilitate ongoing funding of the blockchain development, maintenance, and adoption initiatives through on-chain voting. The Cardano treasury currently holds approximately 1.52 billion ADA, that's around $500 million at today's value, with 7.84 billion ADA remaining in the reserve. This decentralized innovation fund is now in the community's hands, which will enable Cardano to unlock the collective brilliance of the entire community to continue its evolution. This on-chain treasury has no limits to the types of projects it can fund. This could span from initiatives that generate yields or returns to replenish the treasury, investment in infrastructure projects, improvements to the core technology, continued implementation of the roadmap, as well as blockchain for good projects without predatory business models attached to them, or even the real-world acquisition of physical property or land. So have an idea to improve Cardano and require funding. As an ADA holder, you have the power to create a proposal, gain community buy-in, and secure funding from the treasury to realize it. Most importantly, a treasury is vital in a truly decentralized system, as without it, who is responsible to fund the ongoing development and secure adoption through the decades to come? The real beauty of ADA is it represents sound money. Just like Bitcoin, it has a fixed supply, meaning there is a hard cap, making it a deflationary currency. By holding ADA, you're not losing value every year due to high inflation. Unlike cryptocurrencies like Solana or Avalanche, for example, that are impacted by 7 to 8% inflation, which in effect is like investing in fiat but on the blockchain, the hard cap ADA supply will become part of the on-chain constitution, cementing its importance in the code. Determinism and the UTXO model is another killer Cardano feature. Like Bitcoin, Cardano utilizes the UTXO approach for its accounting model, but has expanded upon and evolved this concept to produce its EUTXO or extended UTXO model. By harnessing the power of determinism and incorporating the support for multi-assets and smart contracts, EUTXO offers greater security, programmability, smart contract execution cost predictability, and more powerful parallelization. All of this has a great impact from both a user and developer's perspective. Cardano's EUTXO model means the validity of a transaction can be checked off-chain. If all inputs are present, then the transaction is guaranteed to succeed. As a result, should in the very rare case a transaction fail, users will never pay for failed transactions. Thanks to determinism, Cardano has deterministic transactions, meaning 100% predictable fees, no nasty surprises. Users and developers alike benefit from always knowing the cost of a transaction before it's submitted. Miner's extractable value, or MEV, refers to the profits that a miner can extract by reordering, including or excluding transactions in a block. With no miner's extractable value, when interacting with DeFi protocols on Cardano, the combination of Cardano's proof of stake, deterministic transaction ordering, and script execution in its EUTXO model makes it significantly harder, if at all possible, for users to be front-run by bots. This means that the DeFi landscape on Cardano is not only fairer but a much safer environment to operate in. On chains like Ethereum, validators have the power to reorder transactions via sequences through Layer 2 solutions. The use of sequences is an extremely centralized solution, often used to maximize profits at the expense of regular users. On Cardano, thanks to deterministic transaction ordering, there is no need for sequences, and users can submit transactions with peace of mind. In addition, on Cardano there is no directly built-in fee markets, which is an extremely egalitarian characteristic. Whilst there is a framework being discussed to introduce some kind of tiered pricing, the exact details of this will be decided through its decentralized governance model, where the community itself will dictate if and what type of fee market would be introduced. Cardano's EUTXO model is also super efficient. Due to high parallelism, it's also possible to make multiple transfers to different users or addresses in just one transaction. Rather than TPS, Cardano is innovating with the transaction per transaction model. This can be visualized at eutxo.org, where you can watch in real time a visual representation of block production and the transactions contained within each transaction. This means, unlike other chains where a transaction represents one singular transaction, a single transaction on Cardano can contain hundreds if not thousands of transactions, destroying the TPS narrative. Think of it like this: on Ethereum your transaction is on a bicycle, whereas on Cardano you have a double-decker bus. With new capabilities and Plutus v3 that came with the recent Chang hard fork, Cardano's extended UTXO model, local state and transaction determinism now makes ZK-based layer 2 scalability solutions far more secure and easier to implement, with no need for centralized sequencers as seen on Ethereum. Because of Cardano's transaction determinism, it's possible to build zero-knowledge enabled transactions that allow greater transaction compression and higher throughput both on the L1 and L2 that will bring greater scalability solutions to the blockchain. Thanks to its design architecture, the deterministic nature of Cardano means it is extremely well suited for ZK-based smart contracts. Serious development is actively being undertaken in the ecosystem in this area. This is where innovative solutions like elastic dApp scaling can be enabled, something that is currently being developed by an independent ecosystem development team in Anastasia Labs. Midgard, an up-and-coming Layer 2 solution, enables the ability to add resources to the system depending on traffic loads to help cope under higher load. This is more cost-effective, enabling the system to scale resources based on traffic. This is no easy feat to achieve, not even in Web 2. As Midgard is isomorphic to the Cardano Layer 1, meaning that decentralized applications can seamlessly redeploy on Midgard using the exact same code and tech stack, this feature significantly reduces the burden on developers, allowing them to leverage the benefits of Layer 2 without modifying their existing codebase, tech stack, or architecture. With elastic dApp scaling, Midgard will enable dApp developers to incorporate this in their applications. The dApp will then insert a feature where a user can provide consent for their transaction to be processed on the Layer 2. The dApp can then offload or delegate the transaction to Midgard when the chain is congested. There is no limit to the number of Midgard networks that can be created, meaning dApps could have a long list of Layer 2 Midgard solutions to choose from. I'll be creating deeper dives on the power of Midgard and many other aspects of the points discussed today in up-and-coming videos. So 9 years of meticulous research, peer review, formal methods, massive amounts of simulation work culminating to a live network that for 7 years has never gone down or been hacked. Based on its approach, architecture and innovations discussed in this video, Cardano has certainly laid a foundation that's capable of changing the economic, political and social systems of the world. It's a provably secure, programmable, upgradable, self-sustainable, more decentralized and scalable, energy-efficient version of Bitcoin. When you consider the introduction of governance, Cardano has a vastly superior model than any other cryptocurrency. Where Cardano may lack in marketing or market presence, it's way ahead on vision, foundational technology, and the ability to harness the collective brilliance of scientists, developers, and now the community as a whole to continue evolving blockchain technology. For now, keep it sapient, keep it blockchain, and keep it Cardano.